Hi everyone, I'm Keelan, aka EKB from While I'm in Japan and the Vintage Cigar, and you are watching my 10 Essentials while I'm in Japan. Well, I'm doing this show because when you're in Japan, there's a lot of things to get adapted to get accustomed to. It's a lot of culture shock. The key phrase here is adapt, or the key word is adapt. So I had to find ways to adapt, to find the things that I love, to find the things that make me happy while I'm here in Japan, or the things that I need to get through my daily life here in Japan. And these are my 10 essentials. Okay, number one, first and foremost, is gonna be the umbrella. Now, the reason why I say that is kind of like weird that I would choose an umbrella as an essential, but Japan has interesting seasons, especially when it comes to the rainy season. When it starts raining, it pours, and it's hard to get away from all the rain that's out there. And there's not a lot of cover. When you're walking through the cities like Tokyo, Kawasaki, Yokohama, even in the smaller towns that I live in like Zushi and Hayama, there's really no escape from the rain. Japan doesn't stop when it comes to rain. It keeps going. There's always a lot happening. There's always a lot going on, and so you gotta go to work, you gotta get to the military base, you gotta do all these different things. And one of the essentials is definitely an umbrella. This is one of those things that you're gonna need. It's so funny to see Japanese here when you get to a bus stop, you get to a train station. There might be a place where there's just a space for your umbrella where you can just leave it there, and it's gonna be there in most cases when you get back. The strange thing about Japan, though, that not a lot of things get stolen, but some of the things that do get stolen in Japan could be your bike, could be your umbrella, or raincoat. It's an interesting fact. All right, next up on the list is from York Mart, and that is the Yaki Imo. Yaki Imo. Yaki Imo. Yaki Imo. Satsumaimo, sweet potato. The sweet potato that I get from the York Mart. Now, okay, I know this is a weird thing. Bear with me, trust me. I know this one is weird. But these sweet potatoes are absolutely delicious. They're some of the best sweet potatoes I've ever had. They're kind of like a pale yellow or almost a cream color on the inside. They're almost candy sweet. They're like candy yams from the South. But it's just a versatile snack that you can eat while you're on the go. When you buy them from the place, they're steaming hot, they're roasty, toasty, they're delicious. Or you can have them at dinner, or you can use them to make sweets, all of this kind of stuff. It's a lot of dishes that the Japanese use to make this, but this is one of those that you can get hot, piping hot on the go, and it's like healthy candy. You really can't beat it. Just trust me on this. If there's a York Mart in your area, if you're ever in Japan, if you can get these grilled or roasted or baked, however you want to describe these potatoes, get it. It's almost like sap is coming out of them. They're so good. They're so delicious. It's a must have. Must have. All right. Next up on my list is a weird one here, so you guys got to bear with me. But this one is really important to me, and that is my bidet. I'm dead serious. My bidet. You can see other videos, I've talked about this before. The bidet is something that you have to have in Japan. Like once you actually get a really good bidet in your home, I don't know how I'm going back to the States. I mean, it's an essential. Really. I don't want to get demonetized, but it's essential. You gotta have a nice bidet. I feel cleaner just talking about it with you. I'm serious. Another essential that we have here is Tamago Eggs. Why are these eggs so important? What makes these eggs any better than any other egg that you're gonna get while you're in America or anything like that? Look at the color of this yolk. That's the real color. Deep orange, like it's just this almost sun-like color. It's a blazing sphere that is captured within these eggs, and the taste is completely different. It's a much richer golden taste when you're eating ramen, or when I grew up, my mom always made over easy eggs, and I despised it as a kid, and then I tried it and I fell in love with it, and it's one of my favorite things to eat with toast. But now that I can have this either with a steak or just with some nice toast or something like that, and I have an over easy egg and I do it with these tamagos, with these eggs, it's a game changer. There's nothing that compares to it, and it's really a delicious. The flavor is so bold and so rich. It's not like any eggs before. You can find some eggs like this in the United States that gotta be like farm raised, but everywhere you go in Japan, these are what the eggs are like. Must have. That's an essential. Next up, Furukaki. Furukaki. Once again, something that seems simple, but my son absolutely loves this. Rice, gohan, is a staple in Japan just in general. Like most Asian cultures, eat a significant amount of rice, right? But nori, seaweed, is another staple that is in Japan. And this is something that I kind of adapted my taste buds to. I really don't like a lot of seafood taste. I don't like that watery taste. But nori is something I have if I'm gonna get onigiri, or if I'm gonna get sushi, something like that. That's something that has appealed to me over time. But now with this furikake, this is something I can just throw on my rice if I'm eating some really good meat, some chicken, anything like that. Natto, something, I can throw these in with that. And my son just likes to eat the furikake and the rice all by itself. That's one of his favorite dishes, and he would go mad if I didn't have this on a regular basis. So this is definitely essential. It keeps my family happy, and it's something really affordable that you can just throw on and spice up your rice and spice up your food while you're in Japan. So basically what this is just dried seaweed, and it's cut really fine, and it's like crumbles, and it's like a little seasoning packet, So you got two different types here, and honestly, this one is my favorite, but I like both. My son loves this one. So we keep these on hand, keep them in house. It's just something nice to add to your dishes while you're in Japan. Another essential, tea, ocha. My favorite is lemon tea. I don't drink a lot of sweet tea anymore. I know I'm a Southern boy, but when it comes to my tea, I really dig really good unsweetened tea, especially with lemon. And in Japan, wherever you go, whether it's a vending machine, if it's a konbini, your family ma, anything like that, you can find a really, really good unsweetened tea, or sweetened tea, hot tea, iced tea. It's just tea. This is Japan. You're gonna get tea everywhere, and it's become one of those things that my taste buds just kind of gravitate to tea at this point. So this is one of my favorites. I just got this one from a 7-Eleven, but there's so many other brands that I really love. And if you watch my other video, there's one that I absolutely have to have. So it may seem like a weird thing, but I've just grown accustomed. If I'm gonna have water, I usually like to have some kind of flavor. This is just flavored water with herbs and leaves and flowers and stuff like that. My tea. Love my tea. Another essential is lime. So I can't use my phone right now because I'm using that to record this for you guys. But one thing that I absolutely have to have in order to kind of network and connect with people while you're in Japan is Line. It's usually the apps that they use is like WhatsApp, or and Line is probably the number one. So whenever I meet people, if I'm trying to learn the language, if I'm trying to make friends while I'm out, or if I'm connecting with family members, if, on the go, whatever the case may be, you can just kind of scan and add things online. Line comes in handy. Just, that is a way to just get in touch and contact with people, and to stay in contact with people. If you're, in the club, if you meet someone that you want to hang out with and eat ramen with later, or you want to exchange languages, whatever the case may be, if you're just you can scan the little barcodes with Line, beep, done dilly. You got it. Line comes in handy. If you just want to stay in contact with people, you gotta have Line in Japan. Next up, Meiji Chocolate, 72% cocoa. My dark chocolates. This is my sweet. I don't eat a lot of sweets. I'm not a very sweet person, and honestly in Japan I don't like most of the sweets that are here. They're a little too fluffy and airy and light on flavor, things like that. At the end of my day, if I can't get ice cream, like a really light ice cream or something like that, my go-to is my chocolates. And these chocolates are fantastic. They get chocolates from all over Germany. They get chocolates from Ghana, and I honestly don't know where this particular chocolate is from, but I absolutely love it. Everything on it is actually in Japanese, but this is one of my favorite. This is my go-to. There's a couple other brands that I would have, but my 72% cocoa at the end of the night, this is one of my essentials. Definitely an essential. Gotta have it. Next up, another essential is Yuzu, my Yuzu drinks. There's so many different flavors of Yuzu, and I've talked about this before, but this is kind of like a very strong tasting citrus that gives you either like a little bit of bitter, it gives you some sweet, it gives you some acid, it gives you all of the, the tastes that you want from citrus, whether it's gonna be grapefruit, whether it's gonna be lemon, whether it's gonna be orange. It's kind of a mixture of all of those, pomelo. You get a little bit of everything here, but this is actually my favorite one that you can get usually for about $1 out of a vending machine, maybe a little bit less than that when you go into the konbinis. This is one of those you can grab on the go, and it just gives you a nice little fresh, refreshing burst. I love this. This is one of my absolute favorites. Like, this is something that you just gotta have if you like citrus. And there's so many other, citrus drinks. If you're going into Starbucks, they will also have the Yuzu iced tea. I can drink 1,000,000 of those, and just Yuzu drinks. It's an essential. If you're gonna be in Japan, this is an essential. I love citrus. Gotta have these. If you want to send me a box of these, if you want me to sponsor you, I'll definitely do it while I'm in Japan. I love these. I don't even know the name. It's Itoen. I think I have that right. Itoen. I don't care. I know how to find them. I gotta have these. When I go back to America, I'm probably gonna send boxes of these back. Easily, one of the most important things for me to have is my Passmo card. So there's Passmo and there's Suica. Suica is watermelon, so I think that's what they're trying to do with those. They're the exact same cards, just depending on where you're getting it from. It depends on, like, if you're getting it from a Tokyo station, if you're gonna get it from Zushi, Yokosuka, whatever station that you're gonna go to, depending on where you go. I think Suica is in Tokyo, but I have a Passmo, and this thing I use on a regular basis because I'm constantly taking trains to go from city to city, from place to place, and I could not survive without this thing. Like, I need my IDs, I need my wallet just in general, but while I'm in Japan, my Passmo, this is my passport while I'm here in Japan. This is the thing that kind of gets me from city to city, place to place, town to town. And if you're gonna do YouTube, if I'm just kind of traveling just to explore, to get some new ramen, get some new food, just to try some new places, to meet people, if I wanna go clubbing, I gotta have this thing because it is an absolute lifesaver. It's the thing that is probably the most essential that I got while I'm in Japan. Anyway, guys, that is my 10 essentials while I'm in Japan. You guys tell me what's essential for you. What's the most important thing for you to have while you're here in Japan? What's the thing that kind of keeps you going? All the 10 things, put them down in the comments. Let me know. And if you like this information, if you want to hear more about this, please like and subscribe. You can follow me, EKB TV, and this is While I'm in Japan. Oh, and be kind to your neighbors all over the world.